Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Be Live. I'm your host, Harry Bridgeforth, and today I have a very special guest, a friend of mine, good guy all around, NBA or MMA fighter, right? We
Yeah.
also, he has a long resume, so it's going to be a lot of different titles, but MMA fighter, entrepreneur, um, he organized a lot of events, and right now he's directly in politics. So, Mr. Smash himself, Mr.
Yes,
Steve
sir.
Orosco, how you doing, sir?
I am good, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. So, just like any other episode, we're going to basically pick Steve's mind a little bit about his professional life and also about his professional life, his personal life, and we're going to ask him a few questions. We're going to break down, we're going to talk about some MMA stuff, some fitness stuff, which I definitely want to talk to him about the fasting aspects of it. And then we're also going to talk to him about his politic end. Now, there's a lot of different things that we can discuss. There is no timeline, and we're just going to pick his mind as much as we can. And then at the end of the show, we're going to have his 5 shotgun questions to get more of his personal life. And then we're going to close with some contact information. All right?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Mr. Smash. Well, first off, I mean, we talk a lot online, and we interacted over the years. I'm thankful that you came on the show. And like I said, we're going to first just jump off with fitness, because you're a big fitness guy. We both are martial artists, and we kind of bonded with that aspect of it. What is your history with, if you can give like a broad background to like MMA fitness in general? How did it start, and where did it
Yeah,
come?
it started on the mat. I started wrestling at a very early age,
Mhm.
and that just taught me to be so disciplined and care about my health, be accountable for everything in life. Because wrestling is one of those sports that, man, you can't fake it. You
Ah,
have to be so disciplined. You know, everything from weight cutting to eating healthy to what you do when you're off the mat.
yeah.
But I think that alone is what drove me to be such a fitness nut still today.
They say that wrestling is like the hardest sport, and I agree. It's like
Yeah.
one of conditioning wise, wrestlers go through the most of any type of sport,
Yeah.
athletics, and you kind of put into it. So,
Yeah, there's not even a close second.
nah.
A close second.
I think the whole thing with the cutting aspect, that's the craziest thing that I saw. Even there
Yeah.
was a movie that Steve Carell and what's his name? Channing Tatum did. That was based on a true story
Yep.
with wrestling and cutting. And I started looking into that a little bit more because I wasn't a wrestler, but I was a football player. So a lot of the friends that I had, when we were off season, it would either be track or wrestling.
Yep.
So I never really understood how complex it was and how difficult it was until I started watching and researching. So kudos to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm addicted. I got my son wrestling now. He's 11. So he's on the next come up. But yeah, man, I wish all kids wrestled. I think every child should wrestle just because of what it teaches you about discipline, competition, embracing failure, the ability to lose, and be humble and humility. And you got to put your ego at the door. Everything about the sport is amazing for real life.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's an aspect of the current generation. I was just having a conversation with my wife. There's a very large gap in terms of like education, discipline, and how that kind of plays a part in like
Yeah.
right now. So I mean, yeah, wrestling and just overall, just athletics in general. That's why I said I
Yeah.
love to pick your mind, because I see you in different aspects. You have the wrestling, you have the MMA stuff. How did it transition into like MMA? And then can you talk a little bit about what your programs are? I don't want
Yeah.
to.
You know, it's funny. So the story goes. This
Mm,
was back in. I was at Pace University in New York City, but my girlfriend at the time lived in New Haven.
okay.
So I would come back on the weekends, and there was one night I went to Gotham City
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah,
Remember?
and I'm with all my boys that I've kind of developed a relationship here with, and we're at the club, and they go, "Yo, Steve, you know Andrew Calandrelli?" And I
Mm.
said, "No, I have no idea." And he said, "Yo, he's the guy. He's an MMA guy. He chokes people out and all this other shit." So they introduced us, and
Mm.
he's like, "Oh, I tell him I'm a wrestler and all that good stuff." He said, "Yo, you should come down to my school one day and come test yourself." And in my head, I'm like,
We go.
Oh man, he kind of just challenged me, and
Uh-huh.
I love grappling so much. And I never did jiu-jitsu before because this is when it just really started hitting.
Yeah.
So I went down there, and he had put me with his brother Joe Abate, who God rest his soul. He passed away a few years ago. At the time, he was a purple belt, bro.
Yeah.
This dude, he, when I kid you not, he tapped me out like 10 times in 3 minutes. And
Hmm.
I'm getting goosebumps right now because it was one of the most humble experiences I ever had because I felt helpless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, I was sold. I drank the Kool-Aid, and from there on, it was jujitsu was my life. And that just kind of propelled me into the sport of MMA. Um, so at the time, I was in finance.
Hmm.
So long story short again, so I'm at Pace University in New York City. I'm coming back on the weekends for my girl, and I end up moving back here. I got a job at Barnum Financial Group. And while I was there, I started training with Andrew. I went back to school. I got a double master's degree at Albertus Magnus.
Let's go.
Bro, and I'm not the kind of person that can work for a paycheck. Some people are, and I give them
Yeah.
credit
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
I have to be happy, bro, or otherwise I could do anything. I could do anything at the highest level for 6 months.
Hmm.
But then if I don't love it, it's kind of, I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So the highlight of my day wasn't going to work and making money, which I was doing well. It was going to jiu-jitsu after work.
Hmm.
So I got to a point, like I said, I graduated from Albertus, and I had decided, and I told my wife, I said, what do you think about, moving to San Diego? Maybe me turning pro as a fighter, because my best friend had moved to San Diego a few years prior.
Okay.
He was a boxing coach.
Hmm.
And he was a football guy. I mean, dude, this dude was like a 4.2, 4.2 40, a 10, 8 40, like the fastest kid in the state. So we were like always like the athletes together.
Yeah.
And he said, yo, Steve, why don't you just move out here? So I said, you know something? Let's do it. My wife said, I'll ride your coattails to the end. So we took a risk. We packed up my car. We moved to San Diego, and this was 2009. I turned pro in 2011, and I went 8-1 as a pro.
Yep.
My team was Alliance. So when I was there, Team Alliance, it was me, Dominic Cruz, Michael Chandler was there. This is when he was in Bellator.
Yep.
Jeremy Stevens, Kevin Gastelum. I mean, it was monsters in that room. And I loved it, man. I had my first loss in Melbourne, Australia. So it took me to 8-1. And I think I was 32 or 33 at the time.
Okay.
And my body was just beat up. I kind of knew it was over. The passion was gone. I couldn't go through another fight camp. I fought too many fights in such a short period of time because I turned pro at 29 years old. So I was like, man, I got to get to
fights a year.
So those 9 fights that I had were within 2 years.
Wow.
And I was literally in fight camp for 2 years straight. I said, I only have one shot.
Yeah.
So I was 29 when I moved to San Diego. My first pro fight, I was 31. So I had to go all out and go as fast as I could. So I was literally fighting every other month for 2 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I probably burned myself out at the same time too.
You did it though. That's the thing. A lot of people, I give any person. I remember I was just watching a video with Michael Jai White, and he actually one of the schools I went to, and I studied at as well in Stratford. But he made a comment in regards to like he's not a fighter. He's a martial artist. Like I'm a fighter is saying like I've done this, I've made money doing this, I take care of myself by doing this. And that's kind of like disrespectful to fighters. Like I don't consider myself a fighter. I can fight, but it's not like that's not what I'm doing for a living. So I give anybody that actually goes in there. I had a real close friend, he's like my older brother, Reggie Higgins, and he was an older guy when he went into MMA. But I remember going to the gym and just getting that respect where you gotta be a warrior. There's aspects of it where you gotta be a little bit off. You gotta be just to get in the ring, let alone if you're doing it and you're competing with another guy that's trained a couple of months and now you're going for a prize. Like you're trying to beat him regardless, no matter about the money. This is that you're getting in the ring. So I give credit to anybody that's doing that because it's different. You go to a tournament, You got gear and all this stuff on.
This is true.
But you know what I mean? It's
By
crazy.
far the scariest thing that I've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of things I've done that are somewhat scary, but fighting is just different because it's not normal to go fight another human and preparing to fight for another human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's different when you're at the bar and like just shit pops off. It's like bang, like, okay, that's fine. You have no time to think about it. But everyone thinks a fighter, like an MMA fighter, is supposed to be this tough guy.
Yeah.
You know, take on the world. He's not scared of anyone. He has, you know, ice in his veins, but that's not true. You know, like I'm in the back getting ready for my fight. I literally, bro, I'm in the bathroom at least 10 times.
Yeah.
I got bubble guts. I mean, my hands are shaking. I'm hitting mitts with my coach and nothing's coming out properly. They feel like they're 100 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Every emotion is going through you. Adrenaline dumps. You're like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I could be at home eating pizza, or I could be in the crowd having a beer right now.
Yeah.
No. And it's probably one of the scariest moments. And then obviously when the cage door closes, it's very nerve wracking. It's like, holy shit, it's point of no return.
Yeah,
and then when the ref says go, you know, it's like jumping out of the airplane when you go skydiving. All those feelings just go away, and then you're just free.
Yeah,
it's almost like you're on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
So I miss that. That's the hardest part about retiring as a fighter, because that feeling is you can't replicate that.
Anywhere
forget
you
about
you do, yeah.
You forget about the money. You just can't replicate that feeling. You know, you're putting yourself in harm's way like that. And when you said fighter, I would say there's two kinds of fighters in MMA. There's the real fighters. I'm talking like the Diaz brothers, the Jorge Masvidal. Like, they love to fight. And then there's other guys like me where it's just human chess. I'm trying to go in there. I'm just trying to beat you with my moves versus your moves. I'm not in there because I want to kill somebody. You know?
Yeah. And I think there's a need for all different types. That's why I say I give credit to anybody that's ever done any competition. Yeah. When it's like one-on-one, when it's like me, how'd I train, how'd I take care of my nutrition, where's my mind at that night, and then I'm competing against somebody that did the same thing. Yeah. And it's gonna say, one of us is leaving, one of us is winning.
True. It's true.
And then like a one-on-one is always, like I said, I can only speak on it to a certain degree. I trained in MMA and I would do sparring matches, but at the same time, I did Taekwondo for years, so I would compete. You know, at nationals and things like that. And you could see the level of tiers of the martial artists. You can tell they're going through the same thing you're going through. It's not, in the moment you're thinking like, they're not scared, they're ready. Or you go into it and you're like, nah, I'm going to get rid of this guy. Like your mind is like there, but it's the same moment. They got the same feeling. So yeah, man, I give credit to anybody that's done that at least once.
Yeah, me too.
You know, at least once. You got to do it at least once. And like you said, it never really goes away. It ain't going to be nothing that you're going to get into. I think the only thing that I can compare it to is you just have to keep challenging yourself in like the fitness world. Like you said, like MMA, and then you went into like jiu-jitsu. Do you compete? Have you gone back to competing with jiu-jitsu at all?
No, but I did a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments before MMA. Once I started I turned pro for MMA. I didn't do tournaments anymore because it's not worth taking a risk of getting hurt.
Yeah, then you can't do the MMA.
Yeah.
I get you. All right. So going into like fitness and things like that, who is someone that stands out to you? Now, I know you got a lot of friends and a lot of guys in a lot of different places in the fitness world. Who is someone that stands out to you that has influenced you for your fitness goal in your life?
Yeah, I'd probably go with my man Mike O'Hearn for sure.
Yeah, that's the guy.
You know, it's funny because we're complete opposites. So I'm out there and we train together. I'm at his house. They get so mad because I don't eat one meal a day. They're like, Steve, you look so big. You can do this. You can do that. You don't eat enough. And they're right. I'm not going to grow with the way I eat. You know, and for me, eating one meal a day, it's a complete opposite of Mike O'Hearn, who eats like 8 times a day.
Yeah.
Now, he lifts a certain way and he cares about bone density. Yeah. Whereas me, I care about that high output, high cardio kind of training. I care about my heart.
Yeah.
I want to be able to, when the zombie apocalypse happens,
Yeah,
nobody's catching me, bro.
yeah, no.
Nobody's catching me.
I always see that too, and I'm like I said, I respect the differences, and even when you talk about Michael, he obviously he's a legend in his field, but he doesn't just go and just lift. Like he has a science to it and like a purpose for it. And like I know he's big on longevity and things like that. That plays a part on just training in general. They've gotten into more sciences in the sense that like you're saying, like fasting, how fasting affects you. I mean, we were talking about this. I was thinking of having it on the show, and I was like, I don't know if I should talk about that directly, but I respect what you do. I've seen like your nutrition plan and how you have gone from like, what was it, like the first time you fast was a couple of hours, and you're up to like 2 or 3 days or something like that you can do. And I saw like that's obviously a progression, but that affects you differently, and the output, like you said, is different from a weightlifter trying to move some weights versus a bodybuilder trying to build muscle. And then you got a fitness person like you, where it's like, I'm trying to do this condition wise. I can last a certain amount of time. My heart. I'm not taking no extra stuff to affect all that stuff. So how does that play with the process of fasting? We're talking about fasting. How did you get into that, and like how does that affect the human body?
Yeah, it's funny you're saying, because everyone has different ways of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure me and Michael Hearn both train and eat for longevity, right? But we have different ways of getting there. Yep. He will lift heavy and do things in a precise way, and eating a certain amount of nutrients for, like I said, bone structure. He's thinking about collagen and his cartilage, and I don't think like that at all. For me, I look at a guy who's a bodybuilder, and so all bodybuilders say the same thing. Oh, you got to take a couple of days off because you got to let your muscles heal and recover so they can grow, right? Okay, then I say, well, do you ever give your digestive system a break so it can heal, so it can absorb the nutrients that you're feeding it 8 times a day, work more efficiently? But these guys are so worried about losing muscle and their gains. I'm like, bro, you're not going to lose anything if you don't eat for a few days. The benefits outweigh everything when it comes to fasting. So I'm a big fan of autophagy, which your body's just literally cleaning all your dead cells. Because what happens is we're eating all day long. Yep. We're never giving our digestive system a break because we're using all our energy to digest food. So when you stop eating for a few days, your body goes into a state of autophagy, and it starts attacking all these dead cells, expired cells, cancerous cells, and use that for energy. So for me, I think that's everything. And if you really think about it, what's one thing every single religion on the planet all agrees on?
Fasting.
It's part of it. So that says a lot. Like we all have our different gods and different beliefs, but they all believe in fasting. So that's one of the most important pillars everyone should do. I'm not saying you have to do a 3-day or a 5-day fast like I do. Yeah. But even if it's just, eating less, maybe do a 36-hour fast once a month to at least clean yourself out a little bit. I think it's needed. Everyone needs to do that.
I remember you saying we live in a fed state.
Yes.
We always live in like a position where we're, and if you notice it, I've even done it, I'm always critical of myself, but you notice that when you don't eat, your body, just like if you don't eat sugar, you don't eat like a lot of starches, your body starts to tend to not want it as much.
Agreed.
It goes, like you said, it goes into now, that's what your body is functioning as, because your body doesn't know that you have McDonald's down the street or you have a chicken breast in the kitchen. All it knows is that I have energy now, and when's the next time I'm gonna get energy? How am I gonna function in the meantime?
Yep.
Like I remember when you first started doing that, I was taking some notes from you, and I started doing like intermittent fasting. So I'll usually like get up and I won't eat obviously the night before at 8 o'clock, right? 8 o'clock is like my cutoff. And then I don't eat the next day until 12. Like lunchtime is like 12. So I give myself, 14 hours to a degree, or 16 hours to a degree, because most of it is sleep. So what do you recommend when you're dealing with like fasting? How do you start it? And then how do you like progress? Because I've seen you do some crazy stuff. I'm like, I couldn't do that. Like, I can't do that right now. But I'm like, it's cool. You know what I mean?
Yep. I'll give you a couple little pointers. So number one is I tell people when they first start, the 3 and 3 rule. So don't eat within 3 hours of waking up or 3 hours of going to bed. See, most people don't realize the reason why it's important is because in the morning, your body is so smart that it knows that it needs energy to get up and attack its day. So your liver floods your body with glucose and natural sugar so you can get moving. But the problem is people wake up, their body is in a very high glucose state. And then they go and drinking orange juice, having bagels and donuts and cream. So now you're adding all this sugar that your body doesn't need, gets stored as fat, and that's why you get exhausted, come the middle of the day. So that's always step one for me. And you can just start to close the window as time goes on.
Because I remember I watched one of the times that you posted something, it was like you eat one meal, but it's like a condensed meal with like proteins, obviously, carbs, and everything like that. Do you feel like there's anything that obviously pertains to you, your body, in your body chemistry, but does it affect everyone the same way? Like, are you supposed to eat more proteins, less carbs? Like, I see a lot of people with trends like that. How does that actually work in the fasting?
I always tell people the same thing. I don't care what your body type is. If you can follow the narrative of if you can't kill it or grow it, don't eat it, you're good.
They're good.
Super simple, super simple. People try to overcomplicate things. There's no need to. I
mean, when they start talking, because you see a whole bunch of trends, especially now, and obviously you are more keen to it than I would be, but fitness-wise, there's trends that like people, there's fads that they go through, different diets that are specialists, and then vitamins they tell you to take, and all of a sudden now it's a problem, don't take that. You see the whole Ozempic thing that's out now.
Yep.
Literally like you're injecting yourself, and I don't know how it works completely.
Yeah.
Injecting yourself with some. I have my worries, my doubts on stuff like that. What is your take on all that stuff?
Yeah, well, you're tricking your body into being full. That's the problem. So what happens with Ozempic is the reason why it works is because it slows your digestive system down so much that you're never hungry. That's why people are having all these stomach issues now, because it's not natural. You're tricking your body into being full when it's not. That's why it's better to just fast.
Yeah, and that clears up everything. I obviously with the cells regenerating, liver detoxification, things like that. What can you?
But even the release of growth hormone is so important for us, especially as you get older.
Yeah. Can you talk about like ketosis? When someone says ketosis, what do they mean by that?
Yeah, your body's converting from using sugar for energy to now using fat. So that's another reason why fasting is important, because your body, everyone's different. It might be 16 hours, it could be 20 hours for somebody else, where your body stops burning sugar because there's no glucose to burn. So it forces yourself to use fat for energy. So if you want to get into a fat burning state, you have to do that.
You have to get to like that ketosis stage, and is that equivalent to a certain amount of time per day, or is it just what you're eating? Like if you only eat vegetables, right? Because people that they're vegans, they don't eat anything that's related to any meat or anything like that. You get the proteins from the vegetables and things like that. If you're only eating vegetables and you're getting very, very little carbs, right? Or I guess you get a little bit of carbs, but how does it play a factor in that type of diet?
Yeah, you'll get into ketosis as well, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So I know that because I want people to go to your site, go to your information, because I value how you relay the information. You do a lot of research on the topic, and you're very, very in tune with how the body mechanics work. So if anyone's interested in talking about fasting, you can look on Smash Global, I guess, right? Or
you can even go to my Instagram,
on Steve's Instagram, you always see different meal plans he's got, a lot of different things that are inspiring, especially if you're interested in fasting. And then I know for a while you had just going back to MMA, you had like an award ceremony that you did for MMA. That was pretty cool to me because I was like, that was the first time I actually saw that. Can you talk a little bit about that, like how that started for people that are interested in how that works?
Yeah, so I was like, before I was saying, when I was in San Diego, I fought. Mm-hmm. Once I stopped fighting, I said to myself, man, I love this sport so much. What can I do to stay in my sport? And it was either open up a gym or start my own fight league. I'm like, man, I want to be like Dana White. Let me use my business knowledge, now my fight experience, now do something with both. And the one thing about my sport at the time, because you're talking 2014 or 15, is it was still a NASCAR-driven crowd. You know, tap out T-shirts, Bud Lights, everybody bleed. Whereas the boxing community that's had centuries of buildup and hype, now has black tie events. They have white collar boxing. So I always looked at boxing as more of a Formula One crowd. Whereas MMA was NASCAR. So I said, how do I get the Formula One crowd to come watch MMA live? Because they're not watching it live. So we had my show in Los Angeles. We did it in black tie and gown. Tickets were, that VIP price point. Always honor somebody of influence who made a significant impact in the sport of combat sports. And we had 10 shows. I mean, everyone's calling me. I mean, from Mel Gibson to Seagal, Michael Jai White, like you mentioned before. And it just went over well. It's very, oh man, I'm trying to think, like Lionheart or Bloodsport-esque. Small crowd. You figure you max out at 300 people, but if 300 people are paying $500 to $1,000 a ticket, that means everyone in that room is a viable source to be a network in your network. I always consider it like a networking event, but using fighting as a platform of entertainment for the night.
That's what I said when I saw that. I think that was probably one early on. When we became friends, and I saw that like a situation where that was something that was unique. It was something, like you said, is a networking tool, and it's like an entrepreneur like aspect too. It's like you're going into another genre which is not the trend. Because even Dana White had a lot of issues with that in the beginning. Like someone to understand there's a lot more than just two guys in the ring and everyone's bloody at the end. Like there's a lot that goes into that. An audience that's looking for something like that. So with your award, like I said, I always give you kudos because that's something that stands out, because there's a lot of openings that people don't particularly push because it's not a trendy thing. It's not that everyone's looking into. Like, for instance, in acting and film, I have a lot of friends that are in stunts, right? It's kind of, I guess you're not thinking that it's a norm, but you would assume that there would be an Oscar for someone that did stunts. It's not there, and it's an opening, just like you said, a award ceremony for people that are in combat sports, but it's not, we're at a bar and someone's, giving an award, a little plastic thing. This is like top tier stuff. You got people showing up, pulling up with all kinds of stuff. I'm like, this guy is doing. Yeah,
we killed it, bro. We killed it in such a short period of time. And we were also a pro show. I was fully licensed by the California State Athletic Commission. I still am. And man, everybody loves fighting.
Yeah, man.
Doesn't matter. The funny part is the people who loved it the most were all the girls in gowns.
They're trying to get in.
They love it. You don't realize they're savages, these women. They love watching, because watching it live is so much different. Than on TV. Plus, when it's only 300 people in like a ballroom, you can literally touch the cage if you're on the front row. So you feel like you hear everything, you feel everything, you can hear them breathing. So you feel like you're a part of the fight.
It's no joke, man. Do you still do that right now, or are you taking a break with the last?
Yes.
Last question I have, I'm going to go into that, but are you still doing that now?
So we were actually scheduled to have one at the amphitheater in Bridgeport this summer. Okay. Then with what's going on, I just didn't have time.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk offline because I want to go to the next wave, especially if it's in this area, because we're close to Boston now. But if it's in this area, because from what I remember, it's always been on the West Coast, right? It was always in Cali. So then, if it's over here, then yeah, let me know. I'm gonna try to show up for that. That's gonna be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a good thing. But yeah, the reason why I would assume that it's a lot. You're not focused on all this other stuff because you got other bigger things that are going on, right?
Yep.
We talked about the politics and the political aspect of your career. How'd you get into politics? And then where are we at with Mr. Orosco?
Yeah, so I ran for state senate against a man named Martin Looney. And I was asked by the GOP if I would be interested because they knew I was interested in politics.
Yep.
So I'm a big term limits guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I decided to run against him, I'm looking at this guy, and he was elected in 1980. He's going to 20-something term in office. I mean, I couldn't believe it, especially the way New Haven has fallen apart.
Yeah,
and he's going to the Capitol on behalf of New Haven and Hamden. Mm-hmm. And he's also the president of the Senate of Connecticut. So he's a very powerful, entrenched man. Mm-hmm. So I ran against him as a Republican. Obviously, he beat me, and I just learned a lot. But the goal was to run for mayor of New Haven, which is where we are now.
Let's go.
And this campaign is crazy, Harry. I'll tell you what, man, running for state senate, which is like you're at the Capitol, it's a different kind of position. You would think that would garner more interest than just the mayor. Mm-hmm. And running for mayor in a city like this, especially as a challenger, has been a pace I've never felt before. Mm-hmm. And I can't even keep up with the feedback and the support. So far it's been amazing. And I might do it, bro. If I do it, it's going to be crazy.
I see a whole bunch of stuff. And like I said before, politics, obviously, with my position, it's a non-biased aspect. Because I know you and I know what you put into like all this stuff, I'm obviously supporting you to accomplish your task, accomplish your goal. Because I'm not a person that looks at it where it's just like a fight. You know what I mean? Two guys go in the ring. I respect both of them, but you're my guy. It's like it is what it is. So I mean, ideally, kudos to you that you even are doing that. I think that the mayor in New Haven. I worked in New Haven for many years. It definitely needs some work.
Oh, yes, it does. A lot of it.
But it's just like anything else. We talked about this offline. If you're in these arenas where you can make a change and you don't step up to the plate, I mean, you can't complain about it afterwards. So yes. Like just you doing your thing, keep doing your thing, man.
It's a whole man in the arena, right? Mentality. Like for me, you know, they talk about alphas and betas and sigmas, and I guess I'm more of like a sigma where I'm not boisterous, I'm not loud. I'm like the lion in the back of the room, just kind of observing. And if someone asks me to lead or I say I need to protect, I run to the front of the line quicker than any other person will. So that's my problem. When I'm asked to lead, I cannot say no.
Yeah.
You know,
that's like you said, you're learning stuff too. This is a whole nother environment. Arena. So, I mean, you'll do your thing regardless. I don't have any doubt. And it's kind of like politics is a difficult. I got a couple of friends that are in politics now, and you know, it's a difficult thing. But when you lose, it shows you just with anything else. You lose something. It depends on what you're gonna do the next step. You can get knocked down, you know, and you're gonna get up. So it goes back to the fighting mentality. I don't have any doubt that you'll pursue this and you keep working. I mean, I want you to win it this time, obviously.
Yes.
But I can see that you will definitely put that city in a good spot. So I'm rooting for you, bro. I want you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, I'll tell you what, I really do feel confident. Really confident just from the feedback, all the places that I'm at. And obviously we had our debate last Tuesday and we killed it. So yeah, we got his ass, you know, we razzled him. He said some stupid shit.
I mean, the thing is he's been there for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like
it was like his seventh debate.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Like it's okay. I get where he is, and I don't take nothing away from the guy, because I don't personally or anything like that. But I look at it like there's always room for change, and even right now with the current global or national aspect of like how the government and people are fighting. And you got all these people in the middle. You got these two parties fighting. It would make sense that both of you have people, literally what you're talking about, the people's best interests, instead of like, I don't like this person, I'm going to have an issue with this guy. And then these guys are fighting, and everybody else is like, nah, we're trying to figure this out. So, I mean, as long as you keep it like that, I think you got a good space. Just if you get in, do your thing. You know what I mean? Do your thing.
You know it.
Don't let it change you. You know what I mean? Because I know your personality. Don't let it change you.
No, impossible. It's funny because when I ran against Martin Looney, I knocked on one woman's door, and she was in politics for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking, and she says, "Steve, like I really like you." Mm-hmm. She said, "Let me give you a piece of advice, and if you do get into politics," she said, "Stay in politics for as long as you can until you feel like you're losing your soul, and then get out. Otherwise, it'll be too late." And I was like, "Well, that just hit," because I would never change for anyone. And sometimes I think you might think that it can't happen to you, but it happens to the best of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not you're talking about politics. You're talking about, that controls everything.
The truth.
I mean, so you got a lot of power if you get in, but at the same time, it goes back to like that Spider-Man philosophy, or saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Like your job when you get in there is to literally do your best to make the changes. That's why I don't really have nothing against anyone that's in it.
Yep.
My overall ideology of how the political system is handled.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in it, you can make some changes, and it ain't gonna matter. I mean, party-wise, you know what I mean? It's not like one party is better than the other, or that party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, you're in there, and you have a way of changing things. You have an obligation.
I think both parties have their issues.
Yeah.
And I think both parties that have their issues the most are the one that have been in power for too long. So if you're in New Haven, you've been voting Democrat since 1953. These people don't even have to work for you anymore. They know that they got it in the bag. And it's the same thing if you live in, I don't know, Mississippi.
Yep.
And half of the people are in trailer parks, and half of the people are below the poverty line, and half the county is addicted to meth.
Yeah.
And they've been voted Republican since 1950. I'd be like,
loop.
Yo, vote these people out and vote a whole slate of Democrats in, and maybe they'll have a better plan for you.
Yeah.
Then now the Republicans know they have competition. Now they have to actually fight for you to get back into office.
Yeah, that's the way it should work.
Yeah, but people,
not one or the other, but you get people in the wrong spot, like you said.
It's ego.
Yeah.
Ego. You know how ego. The quotes, "Ego kills," or "Ego is the most expensive thing you'll ever own," and it's the truth.
Yep.
And these egos of people in a place like here, or in any of these major cities, I can't vote Republican just because.
Yeah.
That like, it hurts. That's not normal. And I say the same thing about people in the South that say, "Oh, I could never vote Democrat." Why?
Why not? Yeah.
You rather go on a sinking ship than try to change it?
Like, it all depends. I have friends that are diehard, and that's, you start, then they say that you don't talk about politics or religion and things like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, as a human being, and just the time that I've been exposed to different things, I think that there is a need for politics, but it needs to be handled the right way so that the task in hand is accomplished. It shouldn't be where there's years of the same issues and no one's addressing it regardless of the party. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't be like limitations where you can't do this because you're part of the party. I remember one person that stands out, and I know that you know him him decently, Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was the governor of Cali. He first got in there, he got people talking about things super boring compared to being an actor, but he tried to stick to what he had as a task to complete regardless of the party. He was trying to get things done, and that's probably why he was so successful in the terms that he was there. He was trying to get things done so that the people would be good. Not so much of, they can only be good because of this party's running, or that party, or he's part of this party. And I think that's the ideal mind space where I'd want my mayor or, my senator to have? Like, what is the best choice for everybody? And if it's from a Democrat, that's cool. If it comes to a Republican, that's cool. But how are we getting all these problems handled?
Beige, man. Centered.
Yeah.
No.
Do you run into any problems like that in like the political space where, you have a lot of influences from different parts of the party, certain people? Obviously, you're dealing with a lot of personalities. How do you navigate through that?
I just think I've been in so many industries. I really understand personalities. I realize there's everyone has this way about them, and we all overlap. You just see it within different people. But the Republican Party is so small in Connecticut, growing, that we're all a bunch of lone wolves. We don't have a whole machine like the Democrats have here, who have a super majority. So it actually makes it harder to work because everyone has an ego. No one's working together. We're all a bunch of lone wolves. And I have my arguments with our own GOP, like our chairman. I say, listen, you can never win the state of Connecticut as a Republican unless you start flipping these cities. The cities are too big. The population of the state is too small. So why don't you take all of the resources and throw it in one city? I'm biased to me, obviously. But whether it's Hartford, Bridgeport, Waterbury, or New Haven, pick one and just try to move the needle, because these cities have influence over the rest of the state. I think New Haven has the most influence because of location. And it's also the one that's actually flippable based on voter turnout. So why won't you put all your resources here to try to win the city?
I mean, a lot of the times when you're dealing with that on that scale, you don't know what's playing in the background. You don't know what's going on, and like you said, you got people's egos, but then you got a lot of people in the back that have a lot of power, and they are definitely influencing the people that are in these positions. I've seen that across the board. This ain't nothing new, but it's a tricky thing, man. That's why I say I kudos to you.
Thank you.
I want you to get in and do your thing, and just keep your head. Don't let that stuff change you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, never. Got my word.
Yeah, I know you can go on about the politics stuff, and like I said, I was going to pick just a little bit, just to get a little bit. I know your campaign's running, and it's if anyone's interested, reach out to Steve. Make sure you support him with his thing, because change is change. And if you feel like there's a need, especially if you live in New Haven, there's a need for some changes. I mean, this is a guy that's going to be, pushing forward with that. So definitely keep that at the forefront. But we could talk about politics and fasting and things like that. And I got pulled a little bit. So now I'm going to go into more of more personal stuff. And this is like what I call like the shotgun questions. 5 questions. Is this or that? You can elaborate as much as you want, or as little as you want. But this gives us a little foresight on your preferences on certain things, certain debate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start. Better food, okay? Because we're talking about the fasting stuff. Better food, American food or Italian food?
American.
Okay.
Hopefully my wife doesn't hear this.
That's what I said. You can't win either way, and you can't lose either way. It's gonna hurt somebody's feelings, so it is what it is. I just like to get that. So American, so like hamburgers, hot dogs, something like that.
I'm good. I'm going to the pub.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
In the diner.
I like my pasta. Pizza's probably my favorite.
For sure.
It's definitely not something I can eat all the time, but pizza's like that. That's the little space. Other than that, I mean, hamburgers, hot dogs.
French fries.
Go. All right. Better martial artists. Okay. Better martial artists. Bruce Lee or Jet Li?
Gotta go Bruce, for sure.
Okay. Awesome.
More well-rounded. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, a lot of people, they have that as a debate. Who is actually the better? Because you got Jet Li, and you got Bruce Lee, and you got all different people that are speaking different names and
Yep.
have a different type of career. A lot of them, they say they bit off of each other, and obviously because Bruce, he got kind of cut short with certain things, so it's a little bit tricky for him. But yeah, that's a good one. I would want Bruce too.
Yeah.
This is gonna be hard. Who is the GOAT? Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan. All day.
That was quick. I'm a Jordan guy too. Me and my son, we argue about this all the time. But yeah, I'm a Jordan guy.
Jordan is a killer, and I think Kobe was better than LeBron too.
Yeah. My numbers were Jordan was 1, Kobe was 2, LeBron was 3.
Okay.
I give him credit. And then once he got the title, I moved him up to 2. I said because of the time, and I give him respect in terms of like his longevity. He still isn't like the number 1 guy to me, and it's debatable. I get where the debate is now, and I give respect to those who kind of care. Oh, LeBron is the GOAT, but I'm like, I grew up with Jordan. I seen him play. I seen LeBron play. I mean, I love both of them. I love what they do in and out off the court. And I think it's just a debate. It's not something that you can really like factually prove. But
that's true. That's true.
Better artist, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Jackson.
Okay.
All day. That's the GOAT.
Yeah. And then the last question I have is, it's a scenario, okay? So you're at a bar and you get bumped by some guy, he's drunk or whatever, and he wants to fight you. Now you can handle yourself, but you're looking at him and he's like, okay, he can probably look like he can handle himself. But you can get some help, okay? Out of these 2 people, you get to choose one of them, but the guy gets the other guy, okay? So it's 2 on 2.
Okay.
Are you going with Ali or are you going with Mike Tyson?
Tyson.
Tyson.
Ali's my GOAT, but I'm going with Tyson in the street all day.
Yeah, I mean, Tyson, he's still probably one of the scariest people on earth. So I'm like, you know, I'm a Tyson guy too. I respect Ali. He changed the game, and I mean, there's enough accolades. You don't have to say anything about it.
Yeah.
A street fight, I'm going with Tyson. So that's what's up. That's cool.
We're both in that Michael era.
Yeah.
Jackson, Jordan.
Yeah, that's what's up. All right. So, like I said, I appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely, thank you.
I will definitely be pushing this, and I'll be reaching out to you in terms of once it's done, editing like that. But in the meantime, where can people find you so they can support you? Follow your movement. Where are your social media? What's up with that?
Yeah, I'm heavy on Instagram, so Steve Orosco, or at Steve Orosco. My website is my name, so www.steveorosco.com. That's all for my mayoral campaign.
Okay, awesome. All right, so like I said, bro, I appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. I just wanted to pick some time out of your day.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we're rooting for you. We want you to do the best that you can with everything like that and all your aspects of stuff. And definitely send me those. Let me know those tickets when they come out when you're around here. When you do that MMA award thing. That'd be dope.
Okay, bet.
What's up? All right. I appreciate it, bro. I will check you later. Peace.
All right. Peace.